Okay, all right. Now it's time for anyone to address the council. No action will be taken at this meeting. Please come to the microphone and state your name and address for record prior to addressing the council. Remember, we just want to make sure that we keep this part of the meeting respectful and in order. All right. And any groups that are here together representing the same subject, we ask that you appoint one representative coming to speak on your behalf.
Hi, my name is Brock Trice, and I agree with Laura and Ashton on the compensatory.
Address.
I'm sorry, Brock Trice, 308 Westfield Avenue. Come on by anytime. I always sit on the back porch, and I always got a cold drink for you, so come on by. Mayor, you have the right to veto this right now. It's 3-2, and I'm going to ask you, as a constituent of yours, to veto that vote on. I think it was number 40.
Yes. Legal, I don't have the right to veto that.
On a three.
Law. They are legislative, I'm executive. They control all the monies, all the properties.
I understand that, but at a 3-2 vote, you do
By
have
the
that.
law, I'd be glad
You do
to.
have, you do have that right.
The mayor does not.
I don't believe so.
Well,
But legally, we'll check into it before I sign anything.
I'd appreciate that before we, sign this all into, one done deal, because, I stand with Laura and Ashton on that one. Cause you never know, somebody might get sick, somebody might come up with some problems and they just can't make it. So, that's just the way it is. I mean, life is life, Miss Nix. And I apologize to Lee and Nate, but the fact of the matter is, you know, when a man's out there working overtime and then he can't come back and compensate, it's understandable. So you're gonna have to just chill on that.
But they will get paid overtime. So if they work the overtime, they will get paid the overtime.
That's fine.
Thank you for that. We appreciate it. All right. Is there anyone else?
Yeah.
Just state your name and address for us.
My name is Stanley Milton. I live at 14 South Wetumpka Avenue. And the road beside my house, where Spring turns into Nashville, has been pretty beat up for quite some time. And the vehicles that do the most damage is no fault, they are the city trucks themselves. And they promised me a load of used asphalt, and they put it on the road to the ball field beside my house instead of in front of my house. So any work I can get done by the city on that, I would greatly appreciate it.
We will, Mrs. Stanley. I'll get with Reed where's Reed? Did he leave?
He did.
He did. Mrs. Stanley, before you leave, write down let me get your phone number so I can call you, and I'll get with Reed and we'll get out there and see what we can do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Stanley.
I had a question to ask, but we were talking earlier about removing the people.
Will you state your name and your address for us?
Mary Deason,
Yes.
913 West Plymouth.
Okay, Ms. Mayor?
You were addressing the people that were speaking up. If they were rude, they would be removed.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I wanna know if the city council members are rude to us, will they be removed?
Well, I
Because
hope,
they definitely have been rude to us.
well, I'm sorry. I hope no city council members have been rude to you, Ms. Mayor.
The last meeting, oh yes, city council members were very rude to us.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but we do welcome you back
I'm
each
not the
week, Ms.
only,
Mayor.
I'm not the only one, almost everybody in town did it the same way.
Thank you for that. All right.
I'm Charles Mackin. My address is 1035 Huckleberry Hill Lane. I basically wanted to reiterate kind of what she was saying. As far as respectful, as far as speech goes, I think respectful speech is definitely not, but non-respectable speech is still protected speech. And this is a public forum, so we have every right to say what we have in our opinion, in our minds and our opinions while we're here. Stating that, I wanted to ask you guys, I hope you guys don't want to play dumb about it, but a lot of people in Sylacauga and the surrounding area are concerned about the migrant influx that we're seeing and how that's going to change our way of life. Maybe you don't live in town. Maybe you guys live in a nice neighborhood. Maybe the money is that great. I would like to know how much money you're getting from the federal government to ignore this problem or be complicit and enable it, because either way, it's happening. And it's not happening against your knowledge. It's obviously happening in your city, so you know what's going on. And you wanted to shut down the meeting last time, which means we're gonna talk about it this time. And hopefully not shut down the meeting, because we have the freedom to speak in this country. And I wouldn't be here unless I saw that, but I found that very disrespectful and very much against our human rights here in this country. And also, with the influx of these migrants, it's against my human right to be trampled on and to have my economy and my housing prices skyrocket because of federal housing vouchers are gonna raise the cost of housing in my city due to the influx of migrants. Okay, because we all know how that works. A landlord, all they have to do is just tell the feds that it's $5,000 a month for this little old 1-bedroom apartment or whatever, and it's really only, what, $800 a month? But at the same time, we're getting their money from the federal government. It's raising prices on everything else around us in the community. It's hurting us. It's raising tax values on properties. And it's not people coming in with a whole bunch of money that want to spend money in Sylacauga and boost the economy. It's people that are coming here. They're not like immigrants of the past, all right? They're immigrants that are coming in here and getting free houses, free phones, free healthcare, and not having to do a damn thing for it because it's like an invasion. And as far as I know, all I see are military-aged males. When I walk into the Walmart around here, it feels like I'm in a third world airport. And I don't see a whole lot of families. So what's going on is what I want to know. And it's not fair. It's against our rights. We did not consent to this. And the people are pissed. I'm one of them. Apparently, I'm probably the only one that's here tonight, unless anyone else wants to add to what I have to say. But it's my duty as a citizen of this country to tell you what you're doing wrong and to stop it. And to respect our borders, respect the people of this nation, respect the progeny that built this nation, the ones that built this nation. And you realize you're opening a can of worms that is going to cause a whole lot of issues for our state. I've lived in other states, I've seen it, and you're gonna add to crime. You're gonna have different groups of people at odds with each other. It's not what you might think it is. In fact, it's the opposite of what they tell you it is. It's not always that great. And when you start having hotels and apartment complexes taken over by like-minded individuals and they all get together, what are you gonna do? You're gonna stop that? If you can't stop that, then we're gonna have to stop it. You understand? So I want something to be done about this, and it's gonna be done. Whether it's you guys or someone else.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
My name is Deborah Hatchett. My address is 803 Cherokee Drive. I want to address not you all, because y'all should already know this, but the people here. Article 10, Citizens' Rights. Section 1, any citizen of the city of Sylacauga shall have the right to address the city council under rules established by the council. A time will be reserved at each regular meeting of the council to provide an opportunity for the public to directly address the council on items of interest to the public, but not on agenda items. No action will be taken at the meeting for topics or items addressed during this time. The following conditions shall apply. 1, the speaker shall be limited to 5 minutes. The speaker must clearly state their name and address in the city. All remarks shall be addressed to the council president. The speaker may not address a council member individually. No person other than the council president shall enter into a discussion with the speaker, and then only for clarification of the subject being discussed. No question may be asked to the speaker except through the council president. No person may speak on the same issue twice. Now, with that being said, at the last meeting, these rules were not followed by some of the city council and the members present. Thank you.
My name is James Hope. I'm at 130 Bent Brook. I have a question for Mr. Brewer and Ms. Nix. Being in the areas that you guys are responsible for, the Haitians that are in those areas, particularly on Fort Williams, and particularly on Main Avenue, have you reached out, have you talked to those people? What exactly are you doing in order to make the citizens of this town feel a little more comfortable and to report back to the citizens that you're supposed to be representing.
I can tell,
Well, go ahead.
Please
Nate,
do.
you go first.
I've reached out to Senator Keith Kelly.
I'm talking about to the Haitians.
You want me, have I went to the Haitians' house?
Yeah.
I haven't, but Ms. Nix has on behalf of the council, her and Councilman Fowler has, so I'm gonna let her address that part.
No, I was just talking your area and your city.
Yeah, I did, I actually went, I spent, quite a bit of time out there Sunday, because I wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. I know there's been a lot of stuff posted on social media, there's a lot of things that people are saying, so the way I operate, I wanted to go and see them and see what they had to say. So and I also had an interpreter there. There's a guy, that made contact with me. He's a pastor in Birmingham, and his, original nationality is Haitian. So he's been here since he was small, so he speaks fluent in Creole and English, so he was able to help me translate. So amongst them, there was one that, he spoke the most English. He was kind of just like the representative for everybody else. So the way it works is they are here on a visa. They do have papers. There's an 18-month visa. So they're being employed by a temp service. I don't know which temp service it is, but from what they were telling me, the temp service employs them, and then the assignments only last for 3 months. So when the assignments end, they just go somewhere else to find employment. So, and I also found out that there's like 200, in Talladega that we didn't even know anything about. And so the way they find employment is really just from a word of mouth. So say the people that are here today, they may not even be here tomorrow. So if they can't find work here, then they'll just go to the next city, wherever somebody else is, to just find work. So there was a few, I know the ones that was going to church with Ashton, there was a group of people going to church with Ashton, but this Sunday, only one person showed up, and I asked them, I said, where are they? They said, well, they were in the hotel at Jackson Trace. They're not, all of them aren't there anymore, because they went to a hotel in Ellick City because they got hired at a plant there. So they said just the way it works, whoever calls, like a word of mouth, just say, I moved to California and I call Nate, hey, there's work here. Nate get on the bus, or we load up in the car and we go to California for work. So they're basically just here for the American, the American dream, just to work and provide a better life for their families. So, and I spent a good bit of time over there, on Sunday. Ashton even came over, he came over with me because I had already been there with over an hour, because I sent the guy that I had made contact with. I actually sent him to church with Ashton so he could just help translate the services. So, and another thing to add too, like these people, they're showing up in different churches. And what's special is they don't even understand what's being said. They don't even understand what's being communicated, but they know it's a place of worship, so they're just going. They're going into the churches, they stay for worship, and they leave. So, I had a pretty good visit Sunday. So, as far as I know, they're just here for work. The same people that are here today, they may not even be here tomorrow.
And if I may add,
Yeah.
I'll piggyback off that, since I was over there with her. There are 2 programs, if you will, that the federal administration, whomever at the federal level, has created, and it creates an 18-month program, work visa, work permit program, whichever you want to call it, and there's a 24-month program. So they're either here on an 18 or 24-month work permit visa, and they work for their time being, and they go home, and the federal administration, Biden's administration, created this program. It's enunciation for Venezuelans, Cubans, Haitians, and Nicaraguans, for them to come over here and do what they're doing with these 2 different plans, work permit plans, 18-month or 24-month. And I don't know how they clarify which one gets what, but that's what it is. They're here for max 24 months, and then after that, we didn't get into the conversation of, do you go back to Haiti? Obviously, they don't want to go back to Haiti. That's a war-torn country. But I don't know what happens after that, no, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. So we discussed as much as we could with them, and that interpreter said he'd gladly come back and help out more, because he and his family dealt with it years ago when they came over.
Well, I'm gonna revert back to this past Thursday in Fayetteville, and I realize that you guys are not speaking for the town.
Can I add one thing? I'll let you finish.
Absolutely.
The 24th, is that right, Tiffany?
Yeah.
We're having a meeting at First Baptist in Sylacauga on this, pretty much the exact same meeting that went down in Fayetteville.
But we're not having it. There is a meeting, but the council isn't hosting.
You're right, but just kind of like a meeting, and talking about immigration laws, and senators and state representatives will be there.
So Ben Robbins and two senators will be there, that's correct.
Just to kind of give us some clarification on immigration law, how it works and how it affects us, because I don't know who it is, one of those guys maybe specialize in immigration law, so they are the experts, and they will, open the floor to, answer questions.
Well, I would like to suggest, being that Fayetteville is a neighboring town with us, as well as Childersburg and Sycamore and any other thing here, that if there's things that are going on, I personally would like to see somebody from the city here that's on the council, at least be there. I commend you for being down in Fayetteville, you see?
Thank you.
But I gotta tell you, my question is, will any of y'all be there Tuesday night?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I mean, that's my church, I got them to host it, so because I knew it was originally at the, museum, and there's not a lot of space there.
But we won't be answering any questions, because we'll just be there to give the information that you guys are gonna receive.
I think that speaks well to the city when you represent the city to show up. And that's exactly what I've been looking for. And this gentleman that was talking about, you know, things, and by nature, I'm a suspicious person, all right? And you should be too, honestly.
And I will tell-
But, you know, take it against every nationality that comes into our country. I understand that. And I also understand, but what concerns me is that from what we listened to on the past Thursday night, you know, and from what you're saying about this is what they're here for, and they could be here, and they're on visas, that's not what Ben Robbins said.
Well, that's the information I got. I went over there and I talked to them, and like I said, I had the translator, he was fluent in Creole because that's their native language, and English. And also too, the thing is, they've been here. The reason we haven't been seeing them is because they've been working. The reason we see them now is because the assignments have ended. So that's why they're going to different states and to different places. So however many we had here, we don't have that many anymore. Some of them moved to another hotel in LA City, and some of them are going somewhere else. They just migrate wherever there's work. And then too, I figured out something else. So I know somebody said that they're being bussed in here and so on and so forth. They're riding a Greyhound, so they're catching a Greyhound from cities to city. So they're
Who's paying
riding.
for it?
They pay for it.
Who's
I mean,
paying their rent?
They came from Haiti.
No, they pay for it.
Paying their rent.
There are government sponsored entities at the federal level.
Paying their rent.
Yeah, but that's above our government. That's above
It's
us.
your job to find out.
But it's your job to stand
Not
up
our
to
job to
us.
find
We're
out.
telling you
It's
what
your
we
job
want.
to
Well, hold on, we got.
Don't go talk to the Haitians,
Well,
talk
hold
to
on,
us.
sir, we got somebody speaking. You had your turn respectfully. So let's,
Well,
I'm
we
sorry.
expect you to act respectfully to your time.
All right, Miss Mayor, that's the last time I'm gonna ask you to not be out
We're
of
not gonna do
order.
this again, just, I got a point.
Well, we're not, but I'm also not gonna sit up here and be
I
disrespected,
understand.
Ashton.
Madam President, can I make a point to that?
Well, hold on.
Payment and sponsorship?
Can we let him finish first?
Sure.
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Sorry, sir.
Well, I'm just right there. Other than that, you know, and the reason I'm here is because I watch this lady just get massacred. And so I want to come to the meetings. I want to be productive. As a matter of fact, I used to be chairman of the Commercial Development Authority Board. And I got to tell you, we filled a lot of empty buildings in town and did a lot of things there on Marble City. There's tons of things I could go through and tell you about, and the mayor can tell you too. You know, of course, he wasn't the mayor at that time, but he was aware of the things that were going on. But I don't understand, and this has already happened, but I don't understand when you've got a board that's a volunteer board. Is there something that I missed that you have to have somebody hired, you know, to run the board? Is that exactly what that
You said
$35,000
for the CDA?
Yeah.
Well, we have Brian Tompkins. You wanna, chime in and help explain, what you guys are requesting that director for, Pastor Tom?
I'll be glad to.
Alright, so yeah, he's the, I think you still chair, executive director.
I'm
Okay.
chair now.
Okay.
One reason we've greatly expanded our horizons and working toward recruiting new businesses to the community. Our focus is expanding way past the downtown area to the point that we've now recruited somewhere over $500,000 as of this year in new tax dollars to our city. That's growing. We've got 2 major projects underway. I'm doing all of that as a volunteer. And I pastor a church and have other things going on, 2 lovely granddaughters that I like to spend time with. And it's too much for a volunteer to do. I can't put 20 30 hours a week that it sometimes requires into it. So hiring a director will take us to an even higher level of operation and recruit even more of the amenities that our citizens desire and want and need here. So this is a great asset and a great opportunity for us. Just like the chamber has done well, having a director and growing their population, then we'll do the same. We'll continue to expand and recruit more and more new businesses into our community and create new and interesting projects going on in our community. That's the reason.
I understand that well. And I guess on the amount that you get allocated, how do you encourage the kind of volume business that you're talking about with pennies that you're getting to do that? How do you do that?
Hard work on a telephone, sir.
Sir?
Hard work on a telephone and networking with others. Adding Nextsite, their relationship with us has been a great asset, and then working with them and having conversations with people.
And I think we're further than where we started at, so we're steadily growing. I think, I don't know what our original budget was, and we just added this part-time director, so we are moving forward.
It's been a 9-year, for me, it's been a 9-year journey.
Yeah, so we finally have the CDA where we need it to be as far as it representing the city.
And I think,
So let me ask you, is the CDA now an arm of the city, or is it separate from the city in terms of doing things for the city?
It's an authority.
it's an
It's an
authority
authority.
that's on board. I mean,
Okay.
so, but, and to answer, I think anyone who wants further information on the immigration status and what's going on, especially with the Haitians and everything that people that are here, Tuesday's meeting will shine a lot of light on what's going on and how these people are getting here and getting paid and how they're having their rent and getting everything they have. These senators and people that deal with it are experts on the matter will shine a lot more light than we can explain, and they'll do it gracefully with the correct legal terms that I don't have.
I'll be anxious to be at that meeting.
Yes, sir.
And I'd like to say too, it just wouldn't be anything me if I didn't say this, Ms. Nix. You know, listening and having managed people for over 45 years, from 20 people to 800 or 900 people at a time, I can truly tell you that in every manager that I worked for, in every business and situation that I've been in, a good manager commands respect and never has to demand respect. And I do think, like this lady said, you were out of line, because the people are here to speak up. And they may not speak up in the terms or tones that you like, but it is in your wheelhouse to listen to them and be kind to them. I mean, when you're in charge, you know, it's not a dictatorship.
Okay.
And honestly, that, we gonna shut you down.
No, I'm not,
But
but I
it's
don't want
like
you
you
to
don't
finish so
have
that
to-
way I can say what I have
But
to say.
let me finish.
Go ahead.
But you don't have to be that way. You just do not have to be that way. That is not a good representation of our city. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, now let me say what I have to say. You see how you just sat here and said all the things you had to say, and you were very respectful, even though there were some negative comments towards me and I didn't say anything? That didn't happen last week. I don't mind people saying bad things about me. I don't mind taking shots, but it's not what you do, it's how you do.
May I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Tell those people that do that just what you told me. Tell those people that I'm willing to take your conversation, but, you know, your tone is not something that's very pleasing to me.
Well, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm just asking you to use that terminology in talking to our citizens.
Well, I'll take that into consideration, but I also want you, when you leave here, to take how respectful I was to you, because you were very respectful to me. And this is a meeting of business, and it has to be conducted in a certain order. I'm pretty sure you watched that tape. You heard the same thing everybody else heard. It's my job to make sure the meeting is conducted in a certain order. People have to act a certain way, including me, but everybody. So again, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So thank you so much for your thoughts.
I do believe, yeah, one more thing. I do believe it's in everybody's best interest to do a little research on the Haitians and understand their culture. I don't understand it. I wouldn't stand here and tell you that I do. But as I read, just one simple thing, you know, go back to Britannica online and read about Haiti and the Haitians. And it will enlighten you, I can tell you. You know, and here I'm wondering what's going on in our city. And when this all started in 1615, you can go back and look at Britannica and read about what happened. Because that actually
All right.
happened.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council?
I have a bad back. Is this thing on?
Yes, sir.
I have a bad back, so I want to hold this in my hand. My name is Greg Patterson. I live at 1005 Feather Place. The federal government nor any private entity has any legal obligation to notify you or any other local government when they're bringing immigrants into your city. None. Morally, you might think it's right, but legally, they don't have to. It's amazing to me that such a small group of people is creating such disorder in this town. I didn't hear a peep out of anybody when there were Croatians working at Coosa Valley Healthcare. Nobody was asking about their immigration status, if they were legally vetted. We have a large Mexican population in this town. I don't hear anybody crying about their immigration status. Are they here legal or illegal? But there you go to all these restaurants and different businesses in town, they're working there. You still going there spending your money. I don't hear anybody questioning the immigration status of all the people from the Middle East that are buying up convenience stores, gas stations, and restaurants with Mexicans cooking in them. And you're going there spending your money, not concerned about if they're taking your money, their profits, send it back to the Middle East, supporting terrorism. Where's all this conspiracy about a few people who want to work coming from? You listen to all these conspiracy statements, the former president talking about they eating dogs and cats. Give me a break. These people are here just to get some work. You got people riding by where they live to see what they're doing, being nosy, instead of taking care of your own business. It does not make sense. You're not paying their rent, you're not buying their groceries, so why are you worried about who's doing it? Who's paying your rent?
Taxes.
Guys,
Who's buying your groceries? Let me finish.
not you, I'm saying, everybody had their turn. Again, we have to remain order and give respect to who's speaking. We gave everybody else their respect. Let's give the respect to the person who's speaking, please.
And then, you know, the federal government has always funded some immigrants. Do you remember back years ago when Baryshnikov defected from Russia, the ballet dancer? What did the federal government do? They gave him $10,000 a month to live on and bought him a condo in New York City. But you're complaining about them giving a few people $2,000 a month. You got people walking around here every day. You want to be concerned or something? You know what scares me? You put the police department on standby. That don't make me feel safe because of Haitians. You know what makes me feel safe? Get some of these people riding around this town with no work, riding on these bicycles and stuff, coming on people's property, opening their car doors, going in their cars, stealing stuff. In these houses that are abandoned with meth labs, riding up and down the street, doing drive-by shooting, killing innocent people. You know what I want the city council to consider? Putting some money into the drug task force so that the police, city and county, can get rid of some of these meth labs and these users around here. I mean, these people aren't bothering us. Why are we in such an uproar about it? 15 to 25 people is not gonna upset the apple cart at this time. This is crazy. And to sit here talking about, hear the people talking about, we gonna take care of it? That sounds like a threat to me. What, you gonna threaten somebody because the city council can't do something? So I think if the police department want to be on standby, maybe they should look at them and see what's going on with them. And that's where I am with it. Because the bottom line is, and y'all ain't gonna like it, but I'm gonna say it, the bottom line is, you mad because they brought some black people in Sylacauga. And that's it.
They all got
So is there anyone else who would like to address the council?
I would like to say something else.
Miss,
You know who I am.
I do,
You're
Miss
not.
Mary, go ahead.
What I'm saying is, I am 86 years old. I'm still paying property tax. I'm still paying income tax at 86 years. So I have a right to say what's going on in my town. And I hate my tax money keeps being spent in this kind of way. Because there's no way these people are paying their own rent, paid their way over here, or any of this other. My money is doing it, and I am tired of it. And I don't care if there's 10 or 200. I travel a lot. I still travel. And a lot of these people that are coming into our country, their countries are trashed. I've been to a lot of third world countries that are trashed. And that's what they'll do to our country. Don't tell me they're gonna come over here and make it better. I've traveled too much and seen too many places that are a trash dump. If you go to the tourist areas, oh yeah, it's beautiful. But we always hire a driver and a car and go out to the countryside. Try that. Try that in Belize, and the Panama Canal, all those, Costa Rica, all the islands. Just rent a car and go look, and that's what will happen to our country if we keep on and on taking in people that can't pay for themselves. I'm tired of it.
Well, thank you
Not
so
just the
much for
Haitians,
the.
I mean, it's not just the
I'm
Haitians.
not,
I don't have a problem with any race.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
the
about
fact
that.
that my tax money are keeping these people up. I don't care what anybody says.
well, thank you so much, Ms. Mary, but I can assure you, we haven't funded anybody. Our departments make sure they spend all of our, tax dollars, so we haven't funded anybody, and hopefully at the meeting next Tuesday, we'll all get the answers that we
No, but the
need.
feds are funding it, that's what I'm paying taxes.
Y'all can stand
federal
up to the
taxes.
feds.
And they're.
Well, we got some state representatives again.
Y'all need some help? Y'all need some help to stand up there?
No, sir, we don't need any help, but make sure you guys come out to the meeting next Tuesday, and hopefully we can all get some answers and some better understanding. So, is there anyone else who would like to address the council? All right, so with that being said, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All in favor? Oh, need a second? Jesus, I done forgot how to do the job. Hold on, who's motion? Lee, who, second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Yeah.
All right, any nays? All right, all yays, time of adjournment, 7:33.